Outlet pass for Rick Nash. Nash now tries to slip to the fence and walk in. Nice move. Another nice move. He scored. What a goal. It doesn't get any better than this.
As he plays to the point, instead, he works his way back free. Granlund fires, score!
Hello and welcome to the Puck Drops Here podcast. I'm your host, John Crawford, along with my brother Howie.
Howdy, howdy.
Here for episode number 3 of season 6. Howie, today we go over to the Western Conference and we do our picks for the Central Division, which the West was the toughest for me.
There's a lot of good hair over there.
Yeah. And especially the Central Division, I think, was the hardest. So we'll get to that in just a minute.
Pacific is getting really tough.
Yeah, they are. How was your week? I didn't get to talk to you much this week.
I'm tired. I've been working this whole month. I've been working an extra day at the hotel. So come by weekend, I'm like dead to the world. I slept, I think, 14 hours yesterday.
Oh gosh. Well, not much is going on. Today's my wife's birthday, so we've been doing that, and still waiting for that phone call. I did get an email saying that they're close to the end of the process, so I should be hearing something soon.
Back check and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so the call is imminent.
Crossing their T's, dotting their I's, all that good stuff. So
yeah,
hopefully you'll get this week. And
yeah, but we continue to look for homes in that area, and
unless they're negotiating with Hallmark.
Yeah, maybe. I've been getting emails for other movies and stuff.
Oh, I thought you were going to say from fans already.
No.
Requesting autographed headshots.
Yeah. Oh. With the Christmas cheeses coming up right around the corner, it starts like on Halloween or something like that.
John Crawford, the next Fabio.
Fabio.
Forever.
How's Lucky doing?
Good.
Good. Rogy's doing all right too.
I've been kind of this last week I've been kind of obsessed with finding him a companion, but at the same time it's like I shouldn't do it.
Why? I would think it would give him something to do while you're at work.
Yeah, but I mean, because of other certain circumstances that could change,
right,
in the given year or two, it would bring another dog in the family anyway. So,
But
I
it would
don't
be
know.
kind of nice for him to be able to pick it out instead of.
Yeah, but then I mean, if the other thing goes through, what do you do with a third dog? I mean, especially if we're stuck in the apartment.
Get a bigger apartment.
Normally, two's the limit.
Oh, well, that's what I mean. You have to get yourself a bigger apartment or house.
So,
So, any hockey news, Howie?
no, not really. I know they showed a lot of the third jerseys that are coming out.
Yep.
No significant signings. No trades have been.
Right. Have you got to watch any preseason hockey?
No,
I have.
no. I've been too wrapped up with work and whatnot.
Yeah. Preseason hockey for me.
It's hard to really judge any.
Well,
team
you
in the
can't
season
because you're just seeing guys.
Most of them you're seeing teams that, I mean, you're seeing the starting lineups, but they're broken up with combinations of what's down in
Right.
their system.
Yeah. I mean, you're not seeing
So
the
you really
team.
can't judge. Oh, this team's going to be good. This team's going to
Right.
be bad.
Right.
It's more a look of what do they have in depth,
Right.
more than anything else.
Right. Which, and for that part of it, it's kind of fun to watch because you're seeing what other players can do that want to make the team.
Right.
A lot of them have already started, cutting them down. I think,
Right.
so their minor league rosters are starting to fill out.
Yeah.
So today we go to the Western Conference, and we are going to do the Central. We'll do it just like we have been from the bottom to the top. And I just saw on my board we have one too many here. There's only 7. Isn't that weird? They need to fix that very soon. So you will begin this week, Howie, with your number 7, and I can just go ahead and write it because I already know who it is.
This division, I think, this whole division, I think, is going to be battle between 1 and 2. And then from there, it's pretty much anyone's guess. Anyone could fall anywhere. If you end up in last, it doesn't mean you're bad.
Right. I had the same. I came up. I said.
I think every team in this division will probably end up finishing over 500.
I could see that.
There's not going to be a bad team in this division. It's just they're all so close.
Right.
They're just going to fall in an awkward spot.
Right. Okay, so who do you have?
Because, I mean, in reality, if they went back to the old original method of playoffs, where they just bunched them all together in one giant division,
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if every team in this division made the playoffs. If they did that method.
Well, I don't know if I'd agree with that.
Well, that's why I said I wouldn't be surprised, because you get towards the bottom, they'd be those bubble teams, but they'd be there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But my number 7 that I have for this, and again, I don't think they're bad. I think they're no worse than any other team. They're no better than any other team. But I put Colorado at number 7.
I too feel kind of like that. I think 1 and 2 is going to be the battle, and then 3 through 7 could be any kind of combination. And I too put Colorado only because Well, I just because I guess they're still kind of rebuilding. I
Yeah.
think my next team could be there, but I'm going to pick Colorado.
My number 6 is they're. I guess in a sense they're kind of rebuilding, but I just don't feel that they've really found the real identity. They have. I mean, they've got a great roster, but I don't
Yeah.
think they've found that right combination or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I have Dallas at number 6.
Well, I too have Dallas there. Only because, well, they could easily be there with Colorado or Dallas, but because I kind of find them kind of evenly matched. I have Dallas also, which I thought we'd be a lot more mixed up than we are, but there you go. You're number 5, Howie.
My number 5, I think last year they kind of have I think they had a fluke season. I think this is a team that they're aging,
Yeah.
and I think to play within this division, you're going to have to do something about that situation.
Yeah.
I think they're far better than what they were last year, as far as the record. Well, like I said, I think last year was just a fluke. I put number 5. I've got Chicago.
Chicago. All right, my number 5 team, we're going to be different, Howie, is a team that this was the really tough part because I think 3, 4, and 5 could be whatever.
Right.
And my number 5 team could easily be number 3. Easily. But they've kind of had this identity crisis as of late. Don't really know who they are. They've got a couple of players that are coming back from some big injuries. But are they going to be healthy? Are they going to... If they find themselves, they're going to make the playoffs. But if they don't, I have Minnesota at number 5.
Oh, I could see that. I could see that.
I just think that they've really been struggling with who are we? Who are we? And then Parisi got hurt and Suter's been hurt and they're coming back now. So they could be really, really good.
Yeah, their big question is just staying healthy, and that's the thing.
Right. So if they stay healthy, and find themselves, I can see them making the playoffs at number 3.
So where are we at? 4.
Number 4.
4, I have. I don't even know how to describe this team. They were just kind of. You just never know what you're going to get from them.
Oh, okay.
Especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, I know who you are.
So I've got at my number 4. I've got St. Louis.
My number 4 is a team. Yes, they also. I think that they did have a fluke season. I don't think and they do have good players, but they are, depending on what happens in the West and all that. If they fall here, then there is a possibility I could see them as a wild card. But it all depends on what their season is like. What's Minnesota going to be like? What,
Right.
there's a lot that can happen with this team right here, and I have Chicago.
And my number 3, like you said, my number 3 could easily be number 5.
Yeah.
Number 4. I mean, those 3, they could intermingle. I mean,
Yeah.
my number 3 could be number 6, as far as I'm concerned.
Hmm.
It's like you mentioned with them earlier. They do have that identity crisis. Will they have a healthy? And to me too, I think they need a solid backup goaltender, which they do not have.
Absolutely. Right. Yep.
But I have Minnesota at number 3.
All right, my number 3 could easily be number 5. I think my 6 and 7 are going to be 6 and 7. It could be, it could be Dallas, Colorado, or Colorado, Dallas.
Right.
So my number 3 is going to be St. Louis. But they can easily be 5. They could be 4, depending on what Minnesota is going to look like, depending on what Chicago does. These 3 teams are just so, I don't know. I don't know if they all just have the same kind of problems or if they're all just that good.
I think St. Louis just they can't find the right mesh. They don't really have injury issues or anything like that. Chicago is just, I don't know if.
Chicago's got great players. They just.
Yeah, Chicago, I don't know. Minnesota, they got primarily injury issues.
Right.
But I think if you have a healthy Minnesota, St. Louis who could figure out who they are, and a Chicago who could kind of figure out what's going on there, they're all even.
Right. So, right. So anything can happen, I think, with 3 to 5. Anything could happen, depending on what we get.
Yeah. Number 2.
Number 2.
This team, I think, they're good. They're very good. But I think they rely too much on their primary goaltender, because if he gets injured, they could easily drop to number 5. Easy. Their number 1 goaltender carries far too much weight for this team, and I think they rely on him too much.
Yeah.
But I've got Nashville at number 2. I think they rely too much on Rene. If he gets injured,
they do. But they do have a lot of talent on that team.
They do.
They are very good defensively. Very good. And Rene, I mean, he kind of.
To me, he carries the team. Everything is on his shoulders, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he does defensively. But they do have a great defense, and they can put the puck in the net.
Yeah.
So I too have Nashville at number 2. I have Nashville at number 2. So that means we both have.
Both have Winnipeg at number 1. I think this is a team that they've improved a lot, and they continue to improve. I think they're going to be a team that will be up in that 1, 2, 3 spot for some time.
Yep. I think that this Winnipeg team that we're ready to see could be one that can take them to the Stanley Cup.
I would agree with that.
I think they're going to be that strong. They're going to be really strong.
I would agree with that.
Not saying that's who I picked. Just saying they could be. They could be. So there you go. There's the Central Division, which was really hard to do, especially these teams here were really tough.
Well, I'm surprised, actually. We had, well, all but that 3, 4, and 5 spot
Yeah.
the same.
So at number 7, you have Colorado. I have Colorado. At number 8 or 6, you have Dallas. I have Dallas. Then you have Chicago at number 5. I've got Minnesota. You've got St. Louis at number 4. I've got Chicago. At number 3, you've got Minnesota. I've got St. Louis. At number 2, you have Nashville. I have Nashville, and we both have Winnipeg at number 1. And that is the Central Division. Our picks for Central Division. And next week we'll do the Pacific. And then we'll pick our wild cards for the conference. The Pacific Division for me was really, really hard. And it really comes down to I had a hard time with this division. And I have a hard time with the wild card because it could be so many different things.
Yeah.
The West is so strong to me. The West, just so many strong teams. They are so much stronger than I think the East is.
I would agree. I agree.
So, that's it, Howie. Do you have anything else?
Negative. No.
All right. Thank you all for listening and watching the podcast. You can catch our past episodes at www.thepuckdropshere.com or on our podcast page. Make your picks for the Central Division. If you have not already, you can make those for the Eastern Conference and send them to us. Send us a like on Facebook. We're also on Instagram, Pinterest, and Patreon. You can send us an email at jonandhowie@thepuckdropshere.com. And we will be back next week with our picks for the Pacific and our wild card picks for the Western Division. Until then, we bid you all adieu.
Okay.